Hello guys, today we want to discuss functions and I want us to listen because this introductory part of functions can actually help us to build up as we go along into the course because function require a lot of things. Now, what is function? Functions are functions are relations between two sets X, which is what? Let's say which is domain, the domain related to what? Between two sets of, let's say X, which is what? The domain related to what? Set what? Y. That means it must be related to one and only one what? One members or member or image of the set Y, which is the codomain. So let me put it this way. That means if functions are relations between two sets, X, which is domain, what is a relation between what? Two sets, X, which is the domain, related to only one members or image of the what? Of the set Y, which is the what? The codomain. So now we have mentioned two things here, the domain, and we have also mentioned the codomain. Let's outline them so that we can define them. What is a domain? Now, because we are talking about set X, set Y, and all that. Now, first of all, domain domain is an actual input of a real number that is what? Defined. Is an actual what? Input of a real number that is defined. A domain is the actual, you can say, is the actual, you can put, is the actual, you can still put it that way, still correct, is the actual input of a real number that is defined, domain. Now, what is the codomain? The codomain is a possible what? Possible output of a real number that is defined. So this is what the codomain and this domain. And for every input, there is an output. Then we have a possible output and we have what? Now there is another one that comes up under the image. I mentioned image. Or I mentioned members, which we call the range. Now, range is the what? Is the actual output. I mentioned output now twice. One is possible output. One is actual output. I will differentiate them. Just listen and you will get it. Please, as you are enjoying this video, please just keep what? Subscribing. And those of you that are returning viewers, thank you for watching. God bless you. And God bless your pocket. Thank you for watching. I will expect to see you more and more. Thank you. I appreciate you. Now, range is the actual output of a real number that is defined. Now, I've mentioned three word characteristics or three things under just the definition. You understand me? Under just the definition. I said domain is what? Is the actual input of a real number that is defined. I said the codomain is the what? The actual output or possible output of a real number that is defined. While the range is the actual what? Output of a real number that is defined. Let's say we have something now, we want to input a value. You input a value into a computer. Let's say this is a what? A machine, for example. You want to do an analysis of one thing that I want us to see. Now, you want to input something in this machine. Let's say the machine is the function itself. I want to do an analogy of what is happening in this topic. Now, the input is the domain that we are talking about, the actual input. Now, the machine itself in question is a function. Is a function. Now, that will be defined because there will be a specific function that will be assigned to that particular machine. You know, that means if for you to carry out a programming, to carry out a program, that means you want to code something, there must be a kind of formula, a formulated what plan for that particular what coding. So in that, because you want to achieve something, then you produce, the machine will come out with an output. This output is what we call the range. The input is what we call the what? The domain. Then there are possible what? Output that can come. Possible, they are not actual. There are possible output that this thing can produce. Those possible output is what we call the codomain. The codomain. The codomain is the possible output. Possible. They are not actual. There are possible output that could be produced, that could be projected from that machine. So the main thing, the actual output that comes up from the input of the domain to produce an output from the machine, from the functions, is what we call what? The range. So now let's go. I believe you are enjoying it. So please follow us. Let's see. Now, we want to now go into, let's give an example of what we have talked about now. Let's give an example of what we have talked about. Now, let me just give this example. Let's say we have x function. Now, before I give this example, now, what is even x? What is x? X there can also be is what known as what? As the independent variable. Y can be called is known as what? Is known as what? As the dependent what? Variable. Dependent variable. Sometimes we can say set of x are the domain. The set of x are what? Are the domain. While set of y are the what? The range, the codomain. The set of x are the what? The domain, while the set of y are the codomain. Let me give an illustration of how a function should look like. For example, let's take x. Let's say a, b, c, d. Now, let me map it. Well, let me relate it what? With y. Let me call it 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let me take this. Let this one go for this. This one go for this. And this one go for this. This is a what? Is a function. Why is it a function? because each of the members of or the element of the what domain is defined. There must be a function that must be what given. So that means this is the input, and all these are the possible outputs. Among the possible output, we now have the actual output. So that is to say that all A, B, C, D are elements of the word, the domain X. 1, 2, 3, 4 are the members of the codomain. Now, these members of the codomain are the possible what output of the codomain. Unfortunately, 3 is not part of the range. 3 was not chosen by any element of the word of the domain. So what do we say that 3 is? 3 is a codomain, but 3 is not a range. 3 is not the word a member of range, or is not part of the word the image that range will produce, but is a member of the word the codomain. So that is what we are saying now, is that what are the set of what sets X is equal to what, let's say A, B, C, D, and each of them are defined. This function is defined. Why? Each members of the or each element of the codomain have just only one. What is the image of A? 1. Image of B? 1. Image of C? 2. Image of D is 4. So that means each element of the domain have a unique what elements, or sorry, image or members in the codomain. So that is to say this particular relation can be called a function. Now let's say set X, which is domain. I have all these members. Let's say set Y. What will do with set Y? Set Y will now be what? 1, 2, 3, 4. This set Y. What about the range? This is what domain? The codomain. This is the codomain. So set Y is a codomain. Now what about range? Now how do we allocate the set of range? What are the sets that belong to range? Number 1 is what? The 1 itself. Then 2 and what? 4. So why is 3 not part of set of range but belong to set of codomain? Because 3 is a possible output. The 2 of them are output of a domain, but the actual output of the domain is the range. So in this case now, can we now say that a range is a subset of what? The codomain. Yes, you can say that, because all the elements present in the range is also found in the what? In the set Y. All the elements found in the range can also be what? Found in what? Can only also be seen in the codomain, and not all the elements in the codomain can be seen in the what? In the range. So therefore, we can say range is a subset of the what? The codomain. Codomain. Range is what? Is a subset. Let me write in the short form. Set of what? Subset of codomain. Meaning that if I have let's say this is a universal set of which is the real number, then I have what? A codomain, which is what? Then I have the range inside this real number. Now the 1, 2, and 4 belongs to what? Range. While the codomain, we have for 3 outside. So in that case now we said what? The range is a subset of codomain. Is this particular function given to us, is it defined? Yes, it's defined. Why is it defined? Because what? All the elements of the world, all the elements of the domain have only one and only one members in the codomain. That is 1. If I give us an example like this, let me give you an example like this. Is it a function? I want to ask, is this one a function? A, B, C. And I have 1, 2, 3. Map this one with this. Define under a function. Then map this one with this. Is this a function? Look at it very well. Is this a function? The answer is no. It's not a function. Why is it not a function? Why is it not a function? Why is it not classified as function? A B is not linking up. It's not related to any member of Y. B is not related to any members of Y. As such, what this particular example is not working. It's not a function. Because for you to be classified as a function, each of the members of the domain must be what? Defined, and must have only one and only one members in the codomain. So this what does not meet that criteria. Now let us see another example. Let us see another example. Let me take this one, A, B, C. Let's take another example. Let's take what? A, B, C. Here is X mapping up with Y. Let's say this one is 1, 2, 3, as we said before. And let's link this one is what? Link this one with this. Now, look at what you are seeing now. Look at this one. Now, is this one a function? The answer is not a function. It's not a function. This one is not a function. Now, why is this one a function? We told you that for something to be classified as a function, the element of the domain must have one and only one members in the codomain. Let me give an illustration. Is it possible for a man for the same particular woman, he impregnated a woman, and the two children that he gave birth to are not from the same mother? He did not have an affair with any other woman. He has an affair with a woman, and that woman gave birth to two boys. And we now discover that not that the woman had any external affair with any other man, but we now notice that these two boys are not from the man. It's not possible now. It's not possible. Then it is not possible that, okay, for example, now we now have two numbers that are linking up with this one. It will not be unique. It will disagree the uniqueness of this particular number, because what makes them unique is that they are consistent. What makes them consistent is that they are defined. What makes them defined is that they have a unique number that is allocated to them, that is accrued to those numbers. If I say f of x is equal to x squared plus 4 or x plus 4, for instance, if I put 1 here, if I put 1 here, then 1 plus what? It will give me an output of 5. If you give me an output of 5, if I now put another 1 in another, maybe in this same function defined, it now give me 7, it means that it's not defined now. Because for this x must have only one. For example, it must have only one answer that will be output. It cannot have two answers now. So x cannot produce two different answers. That's what I'm saying. For example, let me use this particular one as an example for us to check the uniqueness. Let me use this table. I think table format will be best for us. Let's say this is what? In table, this x and this y. So this 0, 1, 2, 3. We now have what? 2 again. For instance, this one give you 1. So let's say the function of this particular x is x plus 1. So this will give us 2. This will give us 3. This will give us what? 4. Then I wrote 5 here. Now, or maybe they put 2 here. Now, it will be incorrect. It will not be correct for you to say this is a function. This table, the table above, is not a function. Why is it not a function? Because the uniqueness of this particular table have been what? Have been tampered with. Now look at the word. This particular 2 here is having an output of 3. The same 2 and having an output of 2. So it means that it is not defined. Just like somebody having 2 words, he tells another person, I am Amaka, or I am Friday. He went out to tell another person, I am Chukuma. That person is more or less like is having 2 mouths of himself. He's having 2 mouths of himself. So we say that person is not defined, is not unique. The person is having 2 mouths. He said if another person is a Friday, he said you have another name. So he's giving himself 2 different names. So that kind of person is a confused person. And that kind of person cannot be called a function, cannot be defined as a function. A function must be defined. My dear, a function will be unique. A function must what? Have a relation of x and y, where x is what? Related to one and only one what? Members of the codomain. The codomain is the possible output of a particular function that must be defined. Why we say that range is the actual output of a function that is what? Of a real number that is defined. That means it must be the actual output. What about the what? The domain. The domain is the what? Is what we call the actual input of a particular what? Function that is defined. Now, for just like computer is garbage in, garbage out. That means what you put in a machine is what we produce for you. You cannot put something in a machine and produce another thing. So what you put into the machine is the domain. What is produced is the what? The range. Then what are the possible output that you can have from that machine is what we call the what? The codomain. I believe that you have comprehended this. Okay, let me ask you this one. I want you to type your answer in the comment section because I'm ending this introduction part here right now. Now, let me give you what? This. X. Please, I want your answer. Let me see. And this Y. Now, I have a what? A function like A. Let's say we have what? 1, 2, 4. And I have what? 3, 4. Or let's say I have 2, 5. No, let me use an alphabet. A, B. Let me give you a diagram like this. Look at the board. Is this one a function? Is it a function? Put your answer in the comment section with a reason. Because I've explained it. Now, I want to give this number 1. You tell me whether it's a function. Let me give another one again. Let's classify it whether it is a function or not. Let me give you what is x. Please don't forget to modify the x. Okay, if x is what? Linked up with the y, is related with y in this format. Let's say we have what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let me say -1, 1, 2, 2. Let me stop it like that. And let's say the function is s what? Is not defined. It's defined rather, but let's call it f of s. Yes, where I'm going somewhere. Now, if I give you something like this and I say, okay, 0, let's say 1, let's say 2, sorry, and let's say 4. Now I have this one link up with this. 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 Now, Now, this one, don't forget why are dependent variable. Dependent variable. Dependent variable. I am a son of a father. Now, is it possible for a child to have two fathers? Is it possible? Look at it logically. Can a boy have two fathers? It's not possible. It's not possible. So it is confusing to say a boy has two fathers or a girl given birth to by a mother now have two mothers. It looks somehow because the boy it's dependent. It's depending on the parents. So I am saying that this one now is what? That means this one now, look at this one as the boy. Now, look at the boy now as X. Having two fathers is not possible. So, in that case now, a boy here cannot assume X to be the child. Then this one to be the parent or the father. Now, if you put what a boy, now say the boy is linked up to, let me not explain. Just answer this question so that we can answer it. Because if I explain to you, it's as though I'm giving you a question and I'm also answering for you. So now I'll give you the last one. Last question. Let's say we have 2, 4, 6 linking up with what? Let's say A, B, C, D, for example. Okay, this one, yeah. Link up this. And link up this. Then we have this. So now we have 3 questions here to solve because I'm ending this section of introduction. So please, those 3 questions given to us, we have to look at them and tell us, is it a function? 1, 2, and 3. Analyze them. Tell us why you think it's a function. And we'll appreciate that if you can do that in the comment section by typing it on the comment section. My name is Engineer Ali. Thank you for watching. God bless you. We shall see you again.